Respected elders and dear friends, welcome to the third day of the workshop being held by Heartfulness Education Trust and IITs Roorkee, Jodhpur and Jammu. It's a pleasure to welcome you all to the third day, which is the most important day on for which the previous 2 days were building on. In the past 2 days, we learned how to take care of our body, how to declutter our mind through the cleaning practice, and also how to relax and meditate. Once the mind is decluttered, and we are going to connect again to our hearts to meditate, there is something which we are all familiar with in difficult times like now, or when we are stressed in the office or at home, there is some calamity. We all have experienced that there is a cry from the heart for help. Where does that cry go? And also at the times when we are very happy, we are joyful, we are grateful, there is a feeling without any words of gratitude, of peace. So, where is that feeling? Whom is it addressed? So, we are going to talk about this today, and we are going to deal with the topic of connecting within or dealing with the crisis in difficult times, which is the topic of today. And before we move on to the topic, all those who have joined late, just a brief introduction of Heartfulness Institute. Heartfulness Institute is operational in more than 160 countries. It's a non-profit organization. We have almost 6,000 centers all over the world, supported by 13,000 plus meditation trainers and around 2 million practitioners. I am Chavi Sisodia from Roorkee. I am also an alumna of IIT Roorkee, and I have been practicing this meditation since 1986, almost 34 plus years, and have been a trainer since past 19 years. To deal with the topic, I'm very, very happy to invite the speaker of today, whom I have known for almost 25 years, Mr. Ramesh Krishnan, who is a computer professional working in the IT industry for the past 30 years. He is currently a director at Intel Corporation, responsible for the delivery of silicon, new concept PCs, tablets, and smartphones into the market. Ramesh is an active member of the Heartfulness Institute, a non-profit organization that aims to promote a stress-free and balanced living using meditation as a key tool. He has been meditating under this system for the past 25 years. He's a trainer in meditation and a keen proponent of value education for children. He's an avid mridangam player and loves listening to Indian classical music during his spare time. Ramesh has spent more than 20 years in Canada and the United States and is currently settled in Bangalore with his wife and 3 children. Over to you, Mr. Ramesh Krishnan, to take the topic ahead.
Thank you, Chavi Ben. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, yes.
Wonderful. Thank you for inviting me, respected elders of the IIT community, respected faculty, as well as the esteemed students of this wonderful institution. Once again, I'm privileged to be here. It's really nice to be here. Um, you know, representing the Heartfulness Institute. I just want to tell you something that I'm a technologist. So if I'm talking to the future engineers, this is me 35 years ago. I graduated from my undergraduate almost 1989. I did my grad school in the US. I graduated in 1995. I've been working with Intel for the past 25 years. In fact, I've been meditating in the system for 25 years. A little bit more about myself. I started meditating in the US under this wonderful system called Heartfulness almost 25 years ago. In fact, I took my first meditation sitting, a session from an American. And this entire system has transformed my life. And it prompted me to move back to India, basically. Right? So I grew up most of my adolescence as well as my earlier part of my career in the US and Canada. Okay. I want to tell you that I live in an extremely high stress environment. I I manage a pretty large group. I'm responsible for the delivery of the entry level silicon for the PC market. So if you want to talk about stress in terms of delivery, time to market, getting the products out on schedule, you probably I'm facing it because I have people that work as part of our team across the globe. Okay, and all of us are in the same boat in terms of the storm that we're weathering right now. Okay. With that, I'm going to talk about the topic that I'm going to talk about is this topic that Chavi Ben actually introduced, which is called dealing with uncertainty. How do you deal with uncertainty? And I'm always encouraged by the quote that Einstein said, is that the intelligence that created a problem, you cannot be solved with the same intelligence. You need to have a higher level intelligence to go solve that problem. And I think that for every difficulty that is put in front of us, every challenge that is put in front of us, every problem that is put in front of us, the creator of that problem has given us that immense strength within us to go solve that problem, right? Either through the intellect, which is also provided to us, or some amount of higher intelligence. Okay. Now, so I'm going to talk about two things. One is, how do you deal with uncertainty when uncertain problems are put in front of us, number one. And number two, how do you connect deeply with that higher intelligence that is there, which we call the intelligence of the heart, which is the inner connect that Chavi Ben was really talking about. So those are the two things that I'm really going to talk about. So you talked, over the past 3 days, you've addressed how to live a healthy life through healthy habits, through the diet and exercise and stuff like that. You probably went through yesterday with my friend and my brother Prashant Vasu, who talked about interferences, how to remove interferences from within yourself. Today, I'm going to talk about how to build that connection with that inner intelligence or that inner wisdom that is there within you to solve and deal with uncertainty that will be there, that is there right now, and that is going to be there potentially in the future in all of our lives. Okay. With that, I will get started. I do want to get to know a few of you. The people. It'll be good to know who's on the call. So if you can just open up your chat boxes, I would like to know where are you folks dialing in from. If you're dialing in from home, I want to know where your home is, which city, if possible. And if you can just tell me, for example, if you're dialing in from the university, it'd be really good as well. So if you could just text me where are you folks dialing in from in the chat box, it'll be really, really helpful for me, please. Please go ahead. So the chat box is open. I really want to know a little bit more about who the audience. And Chavi Ben, if I can just see the chat box, it'll be really nice as well. And the other thing is, I really want it to be an interactive kind of thing. If you want to interact with me, if you want to ask me questions, we can do that as well. I'm open to interacting as well in the chat box. I'm not able to see the chat box though. Chavi Ben, you're on mute. So
Okay. Rajesh P. Singh from IIT Roorkee. is Sanjeev Lal from IIT Roorkee, and he's in Nepal.
Okay. Okay, wonderful. So I'm not able to see the chat box. Great. Okay, good. So Nepal, Roorkee, anybody else? Any other parts of India?
Rupa from IIT Roorkee.
Okay.
Harna from IIT Roorkee. She's in
Dialing in from home?
Yeah,
Oh,
she's in Hathras.
okay.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
From Dehradun, Sanya Chadda.
Sanya, okay. Good.
Sneha from IIT Roorkee.
Okay. Wonderful. Okay, thank you. Thank you all. Keep it coming. Unfortunately, I can't see the chat box. I wish I could see the chat box. It'll be nice.
From IIT Roorkee. So there are many from IIT Roorkee.
Okay.
Shabita from IIT Roorkee.
Okay, we should get a healthy competition going between Roorkee, Jammu, and Jodhpur to see who's going to interact with us more. Let's see.
Praveen from UPES, Dehradun.
Okay, wonderful.
Mohammad Nazim from IIT Roorkee.
Thank you, Praveen. Thank you,
Dr.
Sanya.
Vinod from Ahmedabad.
Great. Thank you, Dr. Vinod. Thank you for joining. I appreciate it. Wonderful.
Thanks.
Okay. All right. So I just want to ask one more question. How are you all currently feeling? If I have to give you one word, how are you currently feeling? You're welcome to open the chat box, I mean, your microphone and say one word, how are you feeling right now about what we're facing in the current crisis or in your current life? One word.
Definitely uncertainty.
Uncertainty. How to deal uncertain. Okay. What else? Anybody else? Thank you. Any other chat boxes coming in the chat boxes?
Confused.
Confused. Okay. Fair enough. Okay. Good. What else?
Change.
Change. How to deal with changed. Okay. Good. Okay. Good. What
Puzzled,
else?
excited,
Puzzled, excited. Okay. Good.
unbalanced.
Unbalanced because somebody has thrown a curveball. Fair enough. What else?
Very, very introspective.
Introspective. Okay, so feeling, what do we do? How do we deal with this? Okay, that's a good sign. Good, thank you. Good job. What else? What are the other feelings that you have going on right now? The ability to feel is very, very important. It's different from thinking. It's how are you really feeling inside? That's a good sign of intelligence, by the way. It's women have that. Sorry?
Burden of assignment and unfinished work.
Okay, good.
Shreya says.
Overwhelmed. Okay.
And and Shabina says positive for the future.
Positive. Good. Good. Some people are feeling positive. Good. So we have to learn from people who are feeling positive. And at the end of this exercise, we want to have the tools for all of you to start feeling positive. Right? That's the goal. So because we are in it together. We, as the army says, we cannot leave anybody behind. Right? It's just not, or the other person is not feeling. We're all in it together. Okay. Good. Thank you.
What is the best we can do in life? That's what I am feeling right now. I'm Rajesh from IIT Roorkee.
Thank you, Rajesh. Thank you for joining. And so basically what you're saying is, you see an opportunity in this, and how do you best...
if we get opportunity, what's the best we can do for the society, for the country, for the world.
Wonderful, wonderful. And we're going to enable you, because Rajesh, and I'm going to maybe tell you that for each one is capable of doing wonderful things to humanity, and it's different things. It's not the same for each person. And I think what we're going to try and do, hopefully with this third day, is to create that connect within you so that you feel inspired to go do something wonderful in your life. Okay, and that inspiration comes from within, not from the outside. Okay, wonderful. Thank you for sharing, Rajesh. Okay, good. Anything else before we get started? Okay, with that, let me start. So I just want to quickly say, Chavi Ben, keep me honest. I've got about 10 to 15 minutes of presentation before we go into meditation. So just stop me at 6:40, please. Okay, if you don't mind. Okay, just keep me honest. Okay, so this thing that I really talk about is this: how do you go from pause to poise? You can see the important words here. So the word pause is very, very important. A lot of us rush to do activity, but what is really essential is to have the poise. Because poise, when you talk about a poised person, a person with poise, is a person that, listens, doesn't react, waits for everything that comes in, and then basically with wisdom acts. So how do you go from pause to poise is what I've kind of titled this, to deal with uncertainty. Okay. It is kind of akin to a caterpillar, turning into a butterfly, right? For this, we have to go through some struggles. We have to go through some activity. And you're all, familiar with this, having been, having gotten where you are right now. But we're going to take you to the next step, basically, through this third day. Okay. Like I was saying, we are all not in the same boat, because each one of us are having our own boats with different challenges that are with us, in us. Some of us have, elderly people. Some of us are dealing with, some specific crisis in our life. So the boats are not the same, but we're all in the same storm that we're in right now. And how to get out of this is the topic today. Okay, so that enough ground setting in terms of what's happening. The other concept that I really want to talk about is this notion of a stimulus. And this is particularly from an engineering standpoint and the science background. You all know that there's always a stimulus. Between a stimulus and between a response to that stimulus, there is a space. Okay, and in that space lies our power to choose our response. Okay, and in our response lies our growth and our freedom, right? So it's something that I want you all to internalize, is that we're all going to, and at 24 hours a day, we are dealing with stimuluses, and we have to respond because we are in this, like the Lord Krishna said to Arjuna, when we are in war, you have to act. You cannot be without a response. But between the stimulus and between the response, there is a space. And how do you respond to, how do you utilize that space determines the effectiveness of that response. Okay. And this is very important, even if the stimulus is a happy stimulus or it's a sad stimulus in both cases. All right, good. So we'll continue. Just keep that in mind. How do you deal with that space? Okay. So now what I'm going to really do is we'll take you through a kind of a visualization exercise. Imagine there are 3 circles, right? There are, there's an outer circle. This is circle number 1. There's a circle number 2, and then there's circle number 3. Okay. And these various circles are the stimuli in our daily lives. Okay. So there's a set of stimuli that we get, which is in circle number 1. And there's a set of stimuli that we get in circle number 2. And then, of course, there we are right in the middle to be able to deal with all of this stimuluses. So in other words, we are living in this VUCA world. And I'm sure that some of you have done a little bit of management studies, know that we live in this volatile, uncertain, complex, ambiguous world, right? Rajesh talked about, which says, okay, how do I create an opportunity in this VUCA world? Okay, and even to add to this, we are in this VUCA world, right? So I really appreciate you guys. It's challenging for us because I'm sitting somewhere in Bangalore, and you are sitting, in Roorkee and in Nepal and different parts of India or different parts of the world. But how do we still connect together, and then how do we make the best use of that opportunity? So we are in the E world right now. Okay, so here is you, here's us, each one of us in this. Okay, so let's just kind of go a little bit deeper into these circles. The first circle is our basically stimuluses or concerns that are not directly not in my control. I wish I was in a class with you guys where I would be able to identify from each one of you. If you can go on mute, please, it'd be really good. So maybe Chavi Ben, somebody, if you can just mute everybody other than me, I would really appreciate it. Yeah, thank you. So the first circle talks about the circle of concerns, right, that are not directly in my control. And there are many things that we're concerned about that are not within our control. For example, one of the big things that are not in our control right now is this virus, COVID-19, right? You don't know how this is going to be. Like that, for example, the economy is not within my control. Whether there's going to be a job market is not within my control. There's so many concerns that each one of us have. And if I ask you to kind of write this down, you will see that we'll come up with so many things: job security, for example, the weather is not within our control. The stock market is not within our control. There's so many things, and the idiots, for example, that don't wear masks, that don't take precautions, that are out there. There are concerns of mine that are not within our control. Natural calamities, for example, right? So this is one area, one set of stimuluses that we are faced with, that we have to be able to deal with them. But by the way, we have to deal with them. These come to us and we have to be able to deal with them, okay? Now, on top of that, because of the COVID, there's a lot of other things that are being added right now, right? A lot of people are losing their jobs. A lot of small businesses are shutting down because of the inability to deal with it, right? Some of you who are there, I'm sure, I wish I could interact with you a lot more. Some of you, for example, are at home, right? You're not able to socialize. You haven't met your friends for the past 8 to 9 months. Imagine, right? You are at an age where you have to socialize, and you're stuck at home. And in my case, my daughter is stuck with me and my wife and her grandparents. Although she loves us, but nevertheless, she's missing her friends. Okay. Some of the business people are dealing with the business shutdowns, how to keep the business going, cash flow management, right? How to deal with the fake news on COVID-19, right? The lockdown being extended, right? So these are concerns that you really cannot do anything about. Okay, so I'm going to keep, I think you guys get the gist, right? So the second area, which is a second circle, is a circle of influence, stuff that I can really kind of influence, right? And what are those that we can influence potentially, right? So things like, for example, if you are married, you can influence potentially your spouse, right? If you have a boss, you can potentially, if you have difficulty, you can potentially tell your boss to be a little bit more kinder. Or if you have a professor, you can go talk to the professor, right? If you have kids, you can talk to them. If you have parents, you can talk to them. You can influence them. The word influence is very important. They may or they may not comply. Some professors are, easy. They may give you some rope. Some professors may not give you some rope, right? Some friends may interact with you, but some friends may be too overwhelmed to interact with you. But this is a second circle of people that you have the opportunity to potentially influence or get influenced by, right? This is the second area that you need to talk about. So if I were you, I would just, draw a circle, these 3 circles, and say, what are my concerns? What are the people in my life that I can potentially influence? Okay, so this is the second circle. Okay? And this third circle is the circle of things that I can directly control, and that is directly controlled by me. So like what? I'm in full control of what I eat, right? Which we talked about, which Dr. Veronique Nicolai kind of spoke about, how much I sleep, how much I exercise, how much I meditate, socialize, read, educate, donate, charity work, all of that, I'm directly in control of that, of how well I do that, okay? So we must focus, at least the first 2 sessions, focus on how to do these things really, really well, okay? So the best way to deal with, if I have to say in terms of a mantra of how to deal with the uncertain situations at any point in time in your life, is to say, how do I reduce my concern? I have to reduce my concerns, sorry. I have to increase my influence. In other words, I have to develop things inside me to increase my influence. And I have to regain and intensify my control over the things that I can directly control. And okay, now the question that we're going to talk about is how to do that next. Okay, so in order to do all of this, I need to start, stop, continue, change things that I'm doing. I need to start doing some activities, right? Which I'm sure you've learned in the first 2 days. Maybe start meditating if you're not meditating, start exercising if you've not exercised, start eating healthily, start sleeping better. You need to stop doing certain things. You want to continue doing certain things that you've been doing. And of course, you need to change some of your attitude towards a certain thing. So this is what your homework is in terms of the learnings from all of this. But in order to in any situation that you're going to be faced with in the future, how to deal with uncertainty, you need to reduce the areas of concern. You need to increase the areas of influence that you really have, and you need to kind of regain and intensify the control of the things that you can really control. Okay. So hopefully you got the gist of it. Any questions? Because this is something that I wanted to share with you on how to deal with uncertainty. Any questions before we move forward? So chat it in the open box, in your chat box, or if you want to talk to me, you can unmute and you can talk to me as well. Any questions or thoughts? Chavi Ben, anything on the chat yet or nothing yet?
Hello, this
Nothing
is
yet.
Neha.
Yeah, hi Sneha. Yeah, please go ahead.
So when you say reduce concern, is it like you need to ignore what is going around, or should you give less priority to those concerns that are out of our control?
Actually, a good question, Sneha, and thank you for asking. So see, the question is, the more you feed your concerns, the more they're going to amplify in your life. The more you try to, for example, if let us say there's a lot of fake news, people are talking about how to deal with the coronavirus, to take this medicine or that medicine, or the arrival of the vaccines. You can see so much. If you keep reading and feeding your mind with the coronavirus and what it is, it's something that you can't control. What's going to be in your mind? It's going to occupy your mind. So you must make sure that the concern of the coronavirus does not impact you. You must regulate how much intake that you take of the news that is coming in about the virus, because you can't really control that virus and the spread of that virus. So you must regulate that. So in order for you to reduce the concern that stimulus causes inside your mind. Like that goes with everything else, every other concern that is identified that you have in that circle of concerns for you specifically. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Wonderful. Good question. Yeah, great. Anything else on these three circles? So it's good for you to draw these circles and say, okay, what are the areas of my concern? What are the areas, who are the people that I can potentially influence? And what do I need to develop in order to influence these people? So in order to talk to my boss, in order to influence my professors, in order to influence my spouse, in order to influence my children, what do I need to do, right? And what is it that I can, what is it that is in my control that I need to do in order to increase my influence and reduce my concerns? That's really how you need to deal with the uncertainty, basically. Okay. All right, good. No questions, I'm going to move forward. We talked about, the Heartfulness is all about simplifying things. We talked about relaxation, meditation, rejuvenation. These three have been covered as part of the first 2 days. Relaxation and meditation were covered as part of the first day. Relaxation and rejuvenation was covered as part of the second day. I'm going to really talk about a little bit the third topic, which is the relaxation, and we are going to relax, but I'm going to talk about the need for the inner connect that is within you. Okay, so that's the third practice that I'm going to really talk about today. Okay.
There's a question, Ramesh bhai. So maybe
please.
you can take it in the end. It's in the chat box.
I can do it now. Go ahead.
Okay. Is it only meditation that helps us to become emotionally mature? And is it only meditation is just like sleeping, right? That's what Shreya has written. So if you would like to answer it now, or it will be covered in the topic anyways.
No, actually, let me answer it now. It's a good question. So by the way, meditation is not like sleeping. Sleeping is sleeping. meditation is meditation. And I'll tell you the subtle difference. It's like this, for example. Those of you, all of us have a cell phone, right? If you take a cell phone, for example, is this cell phone sleeping or is this meditating? Is this cell phone sleeping or is it meditating? If so, on the outside, it feels as if the cell phone is sleeping, but in essence, it is connected to the processor that is within it. It is able to receive messages. It is able to receive WhatsApp messages. You can receive a call and it can wake up at any point in time. So you can do the same thing, but when you go into sleep, you're disconnected completely from the outside world, unless you're shooken up and you're woken up. When somebody has to give you a cold reboot, right? And then you come back up. But in the case of when you're meditating, what the subtle difference is, you are shut off to the outside world, but you are connected to the inner world that is within you, number one. So meditation allows you, at least I'm talking to a technical audience, allows you to be aware, to be connected to the messages that come from within you, number one. So that's the subtle difference between meditation and sleeping, right? When you're asleep, you are disconnected from the outside world. You don't know what's happening. In meditation, you're aware of what's happening in the outside world. You ignore the outside world because you ignore those interrupts, right? But you're connected with the messages that are more relevant, and you give higher priority to the messages that are coming from within you, number one. Number two, meditation, given that now you're disconnected from the outside world and you're connected to the outside world, meditation allows you to connect yourself with the higher source of wisdom or higher level of intelligence that is present in your heart, that you can tap to receive messages, receive thoughts or something that will awaken some new ideas in you, which you could not have done if
I think he's frozen.
you've never thought of. So that is the fundamental difference between meditation and sleeping. And that's why when you meditate, provided you are clean within, through the process of rejuvenation, when you connect to the core that is there within you, you will be amazed at the type of inspiration that you will get to go solve problems of life in a completely new dimension. That's truly what's called out-of-the-box thinking. So in my opinion, if you really want out-of-the-box thinking and you want another dimension to give you answers to the problems of that you're facing with, meditation will be a very, very important tool. And that's why most famous people meditate. People like Swami Vivekananda, for example. All these people meditated, right? So this is a very, very important tool because this is what they used to get new ideas, new thoughts, and to be inspired to do new things for that matter. So that's how meditation really helps. I hope I answered that question. Is that Shreya that asked that question? Chavi Ben? I don't know.
Yeah, you have answered it.
Yeah, I hope, I don't know if he's there. I mean, but there's a very big difference between meditation and sleeping, right? Meditation is not sleeping. Okay, that's so that we're very, very clear. Okay. Any other questions?
There are more questions, but I'm looking at the clock. So
that's
maybe,
okay.
Yeah,
so how much time do I have?
It's already 6:09. So maybe we can take it in the end because there are more questions on meditation and stress. So maybe we can take it in the end.
Yeah, no problem. So one thing is, coincidentally, I was going to talk about sleep. Sleep is very important. Sleep is something that allows you to completely rest your body and then go deep within yourself and then switch off from the external world. It's very, very important. You cannot replace. But meditation allows you to get into that inner levels of consciousness that I really talked about without the need for sleep. And my experience has been that every half an hour or 45 minutes of meditation done well is equivalent to about 3 to 4 hours of sleep. Right? That's the amount of refreshness, the freshness that you really get when you meditate for about half an hour. Okay, you may want to experiment this. Don't take my word for it, but if you meditate properly, I would say take a sitting from a Heartfulness Meditation Trainer. This is an experiment for all of you, right? And I urge you to do this. Go take a sitting, take a meditation session from a Heartfulness trainer, which will be about 30 minutes, and you assess how you feel before the meditation and after the meditation, and you sleep for 4 hours, and you assess, take a nap, for example, 2 to 3 hours, and you'll see the difference between a half an hour meditation session or a 3 to 4 hour nap. I mean, go do that experiment, basically. Okay. One more thing I want to quickly touch upon, which is the need for transmission or pranahuti, right? Which is very, very essential. The unique thing about heartfulness is this energy that is transmitted from the source which helps one to go deeper into oneself. So there's a unique thing about heartfulness is this transmission of the higher energy from the heart of the trainer to the heart of the person that's meditating, to allow the person to be able to get deeper into meditation in a faster way. Okay. Now, I can only tell you this. You need to experience it practically, and we will experience it right now. So for you to understand what transmission really is. Okay, that's something that's unique about heartfulness meditation. Okay. All right. So the last topic that I'm just going to talk about is how to do this inner connect. So we talked about the first session about how to do the relaxation and meditation. Second, talked about the cleaning and the rejuvenation process. I'm going to talk about the last topic, which is the inner connect, such that at bedtime, when you go to sleep, you should do this for about 10 minutes or so. Connect to center yourself within. And what we typically do is we offer this prayer, which says, "O Master," or "O God, thou art the real goal of human life. We are yet but slaves of wishes, putting bar to our advancement. Thou art the only God and power to bring us up to that stage." So you connect, for example, with the inner self that is within you, and you meditate on the meaning of this prayer, and you go to sleep, basically. Okay. So this is the way by which you connect yourself and you center yourself with the higher source of energy that is there within you. Okay. So what does it really mean? In order for you to deal with uncertainty, and if you have to take away this in the past 3 days, my recommendation to you is you do 30 minutes of meditation in the morning to start your day, so that you prepare yourself and you center yourself. You do 20 minutes of rejuvenation after your day's work is over, sometime around 5:30, 6:30. And then you do a 10 minutes of inner connect exercise. You connect yourself with at the deepest core of yourself, and then you go to sleep. This is the best way to kind of regulate yourself, prepare yourself, and this will ensure that you're prepared to go deal with anything that life has to throw in front of you, the good and the bad, both, basically. Okay, so that's all I had in terms of this. I want to just kind of go into meditation now. If you permit, I would like to take you through a relaxation and an exercise where you can connect with yourself deep within yourself, and take you through about a 20-25 minutes meditation exercise, if it's okay with everybody. Shall we do it? Okay. So Chabiben, can we do this right now? Can we?
Yes, sure.
Can we start? Okay. So I'm just going to close my eyes, and I would like everybody to close your eyes, please. Bring the attention of your mind to your feet. Let's prepare our body and our mind for meditation. Take a deep breath in. Breathe out. Let go. Relax. Now feel the energy from Mother Earth rising through your feet, relaxing your entire body. Take a deep breath in. Breathe out. Let go. Relax. Now bring the attention back to your legs, your ankles, your lower legs all the way up to your knees, your upper legs all the way up to your hips. Both your legs are completely relaxed. Bring the attention to your abdomen and your chest. Take a deep breath in. Breathe out. Let go. Relax. Now bring the energy to your arms. Let's relax your arms, starting with your fingers, your hands, your wrists, your lower arms all the way up to your elbows, your upper arms all the way up to your shoulders. Both your arms are completely relaxed. Relax your back. Let go of all the tension in your lower back. Relax your spine. Let go of all the tension in your shoulders, your upper back. And your entire back is completely relaxed. Bring the attention to your neck and your facial muscles. Relax your chin, your jaws, your cheeks, your nose, eyes, all the way up to your forehead. Relieve the pressure from your temples, both sides. Relax your ear, both your ears. Bring the attention to your head, all the way to the top of your head and the back of your head. Now your entire body from the top of your head till the tip of your toes is completely relaxed. Now bring the attention of your mind into your mind. Take a deep breath in. Keep your mind relaxed. Bring the attention to your heart. Stay there. Put a gentle suggestion that there is divine light in my heart. Put your attention on the source of that divine light. Keep your mind relaxed. If you have some thoughts, gently bring the attention back to the divine light in your heart. Don't. Take a deep breath in. Please start meditation. That's all. Keep your eyes closed. Feel the condition of your heart after meditation. Let it spread. Let the condition spread throughout the body. Imbibe it into every cell of your body. Become one with it. Unite with it. Make that condition yours. From the top of your head to the tip of your toes. And when you're ready, open your eyes. That's all. So, for those of you that just came out of meditation, it's very important to note that how you feel after meditation is the most important. You may be feeling disturbed before meditation. You may have a lot of thoughts during meditation. But to express the feeling, how you feel after meditation is the most important thing. That connection with that divinity that is within you, with that higher source of intelligence that is there within you. With that, I'm prepared to answer any questions that is there in the chat box. We can take it further before we wrap it up for the day. So Chavi Ben, over to you. We can wrap it up and I can answer any questions.
Yes. So in case anybody leaves at 7:15, I don't want to miss this opportunity to tell them that the numbers that are provided with the link, we have numbers from Jodhpur, Jammu and Roorkee. All those who have completed 3 sessions with us, they will get an ID number, and all those who have not completed, they can contact the number on the numbers provided, and we'll take it further with them. So this is very important, and if possible, I'll share something. Yes, if it allows. Is it visible?
Yes.
Thank God. So this is our website, heartfulness.org. We are going to have an International Peace Day. We'll be meditating with around 40 million people around the globe, and you are welcome to join this. And for everything you can, like the practices and everything, you can find in this on this website. There are detox practices also, and how to start. So you can download WhatsApp on the phone, and you can connect with the trainer 1:1 remotely from wherever you are. And or you can also find the trainer who's nearest to your location. You can do that. You can also go to YouTube and join the master classes. There are 3 master classes for 3 consecutive days, and then you can start meditation. So this website has everything. You can go there and find out what you need. And you can also call all of us, any of us who are there, and we'll take it forward with you. So Ramesh bhai, over to you for the questions. I have written some which were there in the chat box. So everybody now can ask questions.
So Sanjeev, I asked a question. How does one remove negative influence? It's very simple. If you do, there are two methods. One is the negative influence, that negative things that happen during the day, you can immediately remove it. The effect of that, you can immediately remove it by doing the rejuvenation practice, the rejuvenation meditation that was taught to you yesterday. I urge you to try it, to do that for 20 to 30 minutes and see how that refreshes you, number one. Number two, for the negative influences that are, you don't know that there is within you, that the weight that is there within you, what Chavi Ben said, contact a trainer, a personal trainer that will give you individual meditation sessions, and then it will help you alleviate your burden that you're carrying unnecessarily, and that will relieve you as well. Those are the two things that I would recommend for you, and I would urge you to try it and experiment with it. Number two, there's a question that is there something known as overthinking? Is it good or bad? Overthinking is bad. Anything that is over is bad. The first thing that meditation allows you to do, it allows us to regulate your mind. Regulation means that the mind must become your friend. When something is your friend, it means that it must listen to you. That means that when you tell it to think, it should think. When you tell it to think about something, it should think about that something and nothing else. And when you tell it not to think, it should be able to listen to you and say, I'll stop thinking. And it should be able to turn off and go to sleep. That is a true definition of a friend. Meditation allows you to make your mind as a friend. So please do it. Utilize the services of Heartfulness Meditation Trainers, utilize the practice, and make your mind your friend. That's the first thing that I would recommend, basically. Anything else? Any other questions? Shabben?
There is a question from Dharana, that actions of others that cause us stress, can it be dealt with meditation? It is meditation. It is like ignorance is bliss.
Yes. So let me, Dharana, thank you for answering that question. Sorry, I missed it. My apologies. It's very simple, Dharana. Let's say, why is it when somebody does something to you, you react and causes you stress, but the same thing does to another person, the person is not stressed? That means that something that is there within you that is causing, that the other person is doing, is causing stress in you. So there is something in you, inside you, that is causing that reaction. So you must, through the process of meditation and through the process of rejuvenation, the rejuvenation, if you remove that which is causing you to react, or that which is causing you stress, when that is removed, then you will no longer be stressed. You will become to the same person like the other person who doesn't react. That's why, for example, when my wife says something to you, I react. But let's say some other friend says the same thing to me, I don't react. Why? Because I have something that my wife tells me that is inside me, that I'm reacting to, that is causing stress or anger in me. So the issue is not on the outside, the issue is on the inside. So if you follow the rejuvenation practice, if you follow the sittings of the preceptor, and you tune yourself to meditation, that anger or stress will go away. Follow it for 3 months. I promise you, it will go away. You will be transformed. 3 months is what I urge you to try. 90-day challenge. Good. Do we need to read or listen? Sorry, go ahead. Sorry. Thank you.
Why do you need to influence people in the second circle?
Because sometimes what happens is, like Dharana asked, right? Sometimes when people are going on saying negative things to you, right? You have to deal with it, right? You have to be able to tell them in a nice way, heartfully, that you are affecting me. If you do it in the bad way, they will not listen to you. But if you do it in a heartful way, if you influence them, and in a very calm way, you have to respond. If you do that in a nice way, they may turn around. That's why it's very important to influence the people on the second circle, be it your bosses, be it your wife, be it your children, because all these people, reality, they do cause stress in all of us. And meditation and cleaning allows us to influence them in a positive way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Good question.
Yes, thank you.
Dharna, I urge you to try it. And then I want you to keep in touch with the trainer and then come back to me in 3 months. Okay, good. Anything else? Any other questions? Good. I'm glad there are no more questions. Thank you. And I'll hand it over to you. Thank you all for participating. You've been a wonderful bunch. I hope you all gained from this. Thank you all. Over to you, Champion.
Excellent. Excellent job, Mr. Krishnan. Your voice itself sends positive waves of energy to us.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Ramesh Krishnanji.
Thank you.
So it was a wonderful session and we dived deeper into ourselves. Also, this was the meditation session for the third day. So all those who meditated for 3 days must have noted the difference and the change in meditation, the change in attitude also. So we have the key now that we can go into the retreat, the inner retreat, whenever we are faced by challenges and whenever we are bogged down by something outside us. We can connect to our roots and come out rejuvenated and refreshed to face the world. So it's like as we strengthen our roots, we'll be able to deal with the world in a better way and also with our own selves. And like Ramesh, brother, said, that influence, so we radiate our essence. So maybe all radiate the positivity that we carry inside us. With that, I would like to thank all the deans and all the IITs who have made it possible for us to hold this session for all of you. So IIT Roorkee, the director, Ajit Chaturvedi ji, Dean Students Welfare, MK Barua, ADOS W, Professor Kiran, Dean Student Welfare from Jammu, Dr. D.K. Pandya, Associate Dean, Dr. V.K. Pal, and Dean Students Academics, Dr. P. Apte. I would like to thank you all for the support that you have provided to hold these sessions for all the students, faculty members, and staff of IITs. And I hope it has been beneficial for you all. And we would like to take it forward with you all as and when you require it. We'll get back to you with the full curriculum, with the course that we have, the certification course. And I hope that the students will enjoy doing it. Thank you. Thank you all. Namaste.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye, everyone. Thank you all.